you've been staring at that notebook for 3 minutes.
What? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking
About?
about what I want to say. I'm trying to organize it properly.
We're not writing a report. You can just talk.
I know, it's just, I don't want to waste your time with unstructured thoughts.
Is that what you think this is? A waste of time if it's not perfectly articulated.
No, I like to be prepared.
How much time did you spend preparing for this session?
About 2 hours.
Tell me about your week.
I didn't trade.
At all?
No, well, I was going to. Multiple times, actually. But I kept finding reasons not to.
What kind of reasons?
Good reasons. Valid ones. Like the volume wasn't quite right, or the trend wasn't confirmed across all time frames yet, or there was some economic data coming out that might affect things.
How many setups did you analyze this week?
I don't know, maybe 40, 50.
And how many did you take?
None.
None.
I know how that sounds, but I have a system, I have rules. And if the setup doesn't meet all the criteria, then it's not a high probability trade. I'm not going to throw money at mediocre setups just to feel like I'm doing something.
That sounds reasonable.
Thank you.
So, tell me about one of those setups, the best one you saw this week.
Okay, there was this one on Tuesday. Clean breakout. Multiple confirmations. RSI was showing momentum. Volume was increasing. The moving averages had just crossed.
Did you take it?
No,
Why not?
because I wanted to see the next candle close first, just to make sure it wasn't a fake breakout.
And what happened?
It went up, exactly like I thought it would. Hit my target in 3 hours.
So, you were right.
Yeah,
But you didn't trade it.
no,
Why?
because I needed more confirmation. Because what if it had reversed? What if I'd entered and then it tanked and I looked like an idiot?
To who?
What?
Who would think you looked like an idiot?
I don't know. Me, I guess.
Let me ask you something. How many monitors do you have?
3. Why?
How many indicators are on your charts?
I don't know. Maybe 12, 15. It depends on the time frame.
15 indicators. And you still didn't have enough information to take that trade.
It's not about the number of indicators. It's about confluence. It's about waiting for everything to align.
And when does everything align?
I don't know. It's different every time.
Or maybe it never does.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're looking for perfect certainty in an uncertain system. And every time you get close to pulling the trigger, you find another variable to check. Another confirmation to wait for. Another reason why not yet is safer than now.
That's not fair. I'm being disciplined. I'm following my rules.
Are you? Or are you hiding behind them? Let me tell you what I see. You spent 2 hours preparing for this session because you were afraid of saying the wrong thing. You analyzed 50 setups this week and took 0 trades because you were afraid of making the wrong decision. You have 15 indicators on your screen because each one gives you permission to wait a little longer.
So what? I should just trade recklessly. Just jump in without thinking.
No. But there's a difference between analysis and paralysis. And right now, you're not analyzing the market. You're analyzing your fear.
I'm not afraid. I'm careful.
Those aren't opposites. You can be both. But tell me, what are you actually afraid of?
Losing?
Everyone's afraid of losing. But your fear isn't about the money, is it?
No.
Then what is it about?
It's about being wrong. About making a mistake that I could have avoided if I had just done more research. If I'd just looked a little harder. If I'd just been smarter.
So you're not afraid of losing money. You're afraid of proving to yourself that you're not as smart as you think you are.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Here's the thing about perfectionism. It feels like a strength. It feels like discipline. But really, it's a defense mechanism.
Against what?
Against the discomfort of uncertainty. against the possibility of failure. When you overanalyze, when you wait for one more confirmation, when you convince yourself that you just need a little more data, what you're really doing is giving yourself permission to avoid the trade entirely.
But I want to trade. That's why I'm doing all this work.
Do you? Or do you want to be the kind of person who could trade perfectly if only the conditions were right?
I don't understand.
Let me put it this way. If you never take the trade, you never have to face the outcome. You get to stay in the fantasy where your analysis was perfect, your timing was flawless, and you would have nailed it, if only you'd trusted yourself. But the moment you click that button, you step into reality. And reality is messy. Reality has risk. Reality might prove you wrong.
So what? I'm just scared of reality.
Not reality, imperfection. You've built an identity around being the person who thinks things through, the careful one, the smart one. And if you trade and lose, that identity cracks. So instead, you stay in analysis mode, where you get to keep feeling intelligent without ever risking being wrong.
But that's the whole point of analysis. To increase my odds, to reduce my risk, to make better decisions.
Up to a point, yes. But you passed that point weeks ago. Now you're not reducing risk. You're avoiding it entirely. And there's a cost to that.
What cost?
Opportunity, growth, the actual experience of trading. You can't learn to swim by reading books about water. At some point, you have to get in.
But what if I drown?
Then you learn how to float. But right now, you're standing on the edge, convincing yourself that if you just study the physics of buoyancy a little more, you won't need to take the risk. And meanwhile, everyone else is already in the pool.
That actually makes sense.
Here's what I want you to understand. Perfection is the most elegant form of procrastination. It looks like progress. It feels productive. But it's still avoidance. Just dressed up in a really convincing costume.
So what do I do?
First, I want you to get honest about what ready actually means to you.
What do you mean?
Right now, ready is a moving target. Every time you get close, you add another condition, another indicator, another layer of confirmation. So let me ask you, if you had every piece of data you could possibly want, every confirmation lined up perfectly, would you take the trade?
I think so.
You don't sound convinced.
Because even then, it could still go wrong.
Exactly. Which means the problem isn't the data, it's your relationship with uncertainty. And no amount of analysis is going to fix that.
So what will?
Exposure. You need to practice being uncomfortable. You need to take trades that are good enough, not perfect. Because right now, your nervous system thinks that pulling the trigger is dangerous, and the only way to retrain it is to prove that you can survive the discomfort.
That sounds terrifying.
It is. But here's the paradox. The more you try to avoid fear, the stronger it gets. The more you try to control the outcome, the more powerless you feel. But when you accept that uncertainty is part of the process, when you stop demanding perfection, the fear starts to lose its grip.
How do I even start?
Small. I want you to make one rule change this week.
What kind of rule?
Pick your 3 most important criteria for a trade. Not 15. 3. And when those 3 align, you take the trade. No extra confirmation. No waiting for the next candle. You see it, you take it, you manage it. Done.
3 criteria. That's it.
That's it. Because I promise you, if you had 50 criteria, you'd still find a reason to hesitate. This isn't about having better rules. It's about trusting yourself enough to act on them.
And if I lose?
Then you lose. And you'll discover that the world doesn't end, that you're still capable, that one bad trade doesn't erase everything you know. That's the real lesson here. Not how to avoid failure, but how to survive it.
Okay, 3 criteria. I can do that.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I want you to time yourself. When you see a setup that meets your 3 rules, you have 60 seconds to enter. No backtesting. No checking one more time frame. 60 seconds.
You're trying to give me a heart attack.
I'm trying to give you your life back. Because right now, you're spending more time avoiding trades than you are trading. And that's not discipline. That's prison.
Okay, 60 seconds. I'll try.
Don't try. Do. And then come back and tell me what happened. Before you go, one last thing to think about.
Okay,
What if being wrong isn't the worst thing that could happen?
what do you mean?
I mean, right now, you're organizing your entire life around avoiding mistakes. But what if the real mistake is never trying? What if the worst outcome isn't a bad trade? It's spending years preparing for a moment that never comes because you were too afraid to step into it.
I never thought about it like that.
Most people don't. They think they're being responsible, strategic, smart. But really, they're just protecting themselves from the discomfort of being human. And humans make mistakes. That's not a flaw. That's the cost of participation.
So you're saying I should just embrace being wrong?
I'm saying you should embrace being real, imperfect, in the arena instead of in the stands. Because the version of you that waits for perfect conditions will never be as powerful as the version that acts despite the fear.
Thank you. I think I needed to hear that.
Same time next week?
Yeah, and I'll have something to tell you, I promise.
Analysis is safe. It feels productive. It gives you the illusion that you're making progress. But real growth doesn't happen in the research phase. It happens in the moment you stop preparing and start acting. The fearful analyst isn't afraid of the market. They're afraid of themselves, of what it would mean to try and fail. But here's the truth. Perfection is the most elegant form of procrastination, and the only way out is through. Stop analyzing. Start trusting. The trade you're waiting for is the one you're too afraid to take.